go forth. It's a beautiful day at Van Zerk Field. We've got a nice breeze blowing from right to left from our right field line, which would be from south to north. It's going ever so slightly in the eastern direction, so we might see some fireworks if some guys on our lineup get a hold of the ball today. Ty Goforth, probably a top pitcher on our staff. Center fielder Mitch Harris up to bat for the visiting Palm Harbor Hurricanes. Ty from the windup, and that's going to be low and inside for ball one. Got beautiful weather today. We might see some home runs with the wind blowing. Ty brings a fastball. That's going to be low for ball two. Looks like we're playing this young hitter a little bit to the right. And there's a pitch right on the outside plate of the plate for strike one. Excellent location on that fastball. Trace with ball three just on the outside of the plate. So we're looking at a 3 balls and a strike count on the first batter, Dustin Ferris. And there's a high fly ball in the infield. And there's a little bit of confusion, but settling under it nicely. For Palmetto is Maven Gordon on that catch. It was a little hard to tell. 4 players converging on the ball at once, so that's out number 1 here in the first inning. And now we're going to see Dustin Lowe for the visiting Hurricanes. Trace with the ball just a bit outside and low for ball 1. You know, usually Trace gets a first batter and then he settles down and starts locating his pitches, and just as scripted, he grooves a really nice fastball that trailed off to the outside of the plate for the first strike on young Mr. Dustin Lowe. Trace from the stretch, and that's going to be high for 2 balls and 1 strike. And there's a ground ball hit up the middle for a base hit for Dustin Lowe. 1 runner on, 1 out here in the first inning at Van Zerk Stadium. And it's not too late if you're out there in town and you want to get by to get to the game. Got beautiful weather, got great food today at the concessions, got excellent baseball teams playing today. So if you're able, come on down to Van Zerk Stadium and check out the action. Okay, Dustin Lowe taking a lead on first. Ty from the stretch, and that's going to be a strike right on the outside of the plate. Excellent location on that pitch. He checks the runner at first, and now he's got the signal. And that was a beautiful inside fastball. Tough to lay off a pitch like that for a hitter, but let's see what their strategy is for Palm Harbor. No balls and 2 strikes on the batter, Tanner Mink. And there's a ball in the dirt, but Ty Hooks, once again, doing an excellent job behind the plate as catcher. He really has all the skills that you want in a catcher. He's an excellent defender, hits for power, got a great arm. The runner on first taking a lead. And the pitch, and that's going to just miss the outside plate. Trace trying to get the batter to chase on that one, but no go. Brings the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes on young Tanner Mink. And the pitch. And oh, that was a beautifully placed fastball right over the edge of the plate. And that's going to be the first strikeout of the game for Trace Goforth. And that's going to bring up Tanner's brother, Hunter Mink, for the visiting Palm Harbor Hurricanes. Trace checking the runner on first. He's pitching from the stretch, and he grooves a curveball that's just a bit high for ball 1. Once again, checking the runner. We might see a throw over to first here. Let's see how it goes. No, he's going to bring it home, and once again, Ty Hooks making a stop on a low ball. The count is 2 balls and no strikes on Hunter Mink. Trace checking the runner rather. He gets the signal, and oh, a beautiful fastball. Just blew that right past the batter for a first strike on Hunter Mink. Once again, there's 2 outs. A runner on first. 2 balls and a strike on the batter. And oh, he makes a move to go to second and comes back. I thought we might have a rundown situation there, but the runner was able to get back to first in time. We might see a throw over here based on that little clue that he gave us, but Trace grooves a beautiful pitch on the edge of the strike zone to run the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was an excellent pitch, maybe the best one that he's thrown today so far. He checks the runner at first, gets the signal from Hooks, and the pitch. Oh, he got him chasing on a curveball, and that's going to be out number 3 for the visiting Palm Harbor Hurricanes.
Folks, if you have friends or family or people up north that can't be here and join you today at the baseball park, today's game is being broadcast live on PalmettoTigers.com.
If you're not able to get to the ballpark, I hope you do get a chance to tune in for this game. We're going to be broadcasting most of the rest of the home games for this year for the Tigers. And if you get a chance, check us out at PalmettoTigers.com and go to the link. You can also find replays of all of our games on YouTube. So if you miss the action, you can get caught up at any time. It's PalmettoTigers.com. Go to our link. Remember, PalmettoTigers.com and Tiger Vision, the #1 webcast in the world. So Palm Harbor out in the field in the first inning. Nick Ficarado is the pitcher, number 7. He looks like a pretty lanky kid with a pretty good arm. In the warm-ups, we're seeing some lively fastball action. So let's see if Palmetto can get on track with this young man and get some runners and get some scoring early in this ball game. Don't have much information on Palm Harbor, but I do know that they have a history of having a really strong baseball program. And I'm sure since they're on our schedule that Rich has put them on here for a reason. It's always good to get challenged during the season, and I'm sure that we're going to have a challenge here today. Up for the Tigers, leadoff hitter Mason Jantz, the center fielder. And the pitch, Ficarado, and that's going to be a tip ball foul for strike 1 on Mason Jantz. The outfield is pretty much playing him straight up, so let's see if Mason can get on base here. The second pitch, Nick Mercado, and he throws a curveball inside. Mason just missed connecting on that one, so we're running the count to 0-2 on the leadoff hitter. Nick Mercado with a high ball. That's going to be ball one. Mason doing a nice job remaining disciplined at the plate, as he had a notion to swing at that one but thought the better of it. And that's going to make the count 1-2 strikes. The pitcher winds up and just missing in the strike zone there, running the count to, check that, 1-2 strikes on Mason Jans. And the pitch, and again, Mercado starting out with a little bit outside the strike zone. Primarily he's hitting everything high. Let's see if he gets this ball adjustment. Mason waiting for the pitch, and there's a high fly ball right into center field. The second baseman is called off, and the center fielder comes in and makes a nice play on the high fly ball in center field. That's going to make it out number one. And that's going to bring up Byron Acevedo, the right fielder. Byron, a young man with a lot of power. Hopefully with the wind, he might be able to take advantage of that. Let's see if we can get some runs on the board early in the game here. And the pitch. And he hits one right up the middle. It's fielded nicely by the pitcher, Nick Mercado, and that's going to be out number 2 in the first inning. Byron got a hold of that one. I didn't think that was going to be fielded, but the pitcher did an excellent job defensively to scoop that up and get the second out in the inning against the Tigers. And that's going to bring up shortstop Harrison Thiel. Harrison, another young man that's got pretty good power for a shortstop. Let's see what he can do here. And the curveball is going to be low for ball one. Harrison doing a really good job at the plate this year, one of the leaders on the team, and he hits a ball, and that's going to go out into the parking lot along 17th Street, just missing someone's windshield. I think it was mine. Thank goodness he didn't connect any better with that, but that brings the count to 1-1 on young Harrison Thiel. And the pitch right down the middle, and it's going to be low for 2 balls and a strike. So far, Mercado struggling a little bit with his location. That bodes well for Palmetto. Let's see if we can get a runner on. And the pitch right down the middle, and another foul ball. And this one's going to be over in the parking lot of the fairgrounds. So if you're parked over there, you might want to think twice about locating your car there during a Tiger game. And the pitch, and that's going to be well inside, almost hitting Harrison Thiel, but he was able to get out of the way. So we're looking at full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Harrison Thiel from the windup. And there's a ball right down the middle. Harrison again doing a nice job of staying alive. He fouls that one off again into the 17th Street area. Hopefully he's going to get ahead of one of these and get a base hit here, or we're going to draw a walk. And the pitch, and that's going to be right down Main Street for a called strike 3. So that retires the side. After 1, we're looking at no score between your Palmetto Tigers and the visiting Palm Harbor Hurricanes. Anyway, Tiger fans, I hope if you do have an opportunity before the afternoon is over, come on down and catch the game live. So pitcher Trace Goforth on the mound for the Tigers today, starting out really well, doing a nice job with his location. Been really impressed with the games that we've done this year and having a chance to watch Trace work. He does a really nice job of making adjustments with his location. And he's been pretty successful in every outing that we have seen on our broadcasts thus far. So here at the top of the second, we've got number 12, Pat Keenan, is the batter.
The top of the first inning. Second is first baseman, number 12, Pat Keenan.
Pat Keenan, the first baseman, strides up to the plate. Let's see what kind of a hitter he is. All right, Trace is on the mound from the windup. And the pitch, and he grooves a fastball right down the middle of the plate for a called strike one. Again, the delivery and a fastball to the outside. That's going to raise the count to 1 ball and 1 strike on young Mr. Keenan. Once again, Trace, the windup, and he throws a high heater. Boy, that's a tough pitch to try to lay off of. I thought maybe Keenan would chase after that. Nevertheless, 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch, again, right down the middle, grooving it right over the plate for strike number 2. Trace really doing a great job with his locations on the fastball. He gets the signal from Ty Hooks, and the pitch. Oh, and he just catches the outside corner and a beautifully placed ball for strike number 3. I tell you, that might be the best pitch of the day so far, because that's a tough ball to hit, but at the same time, it is in the strike zone for strike number 3, which brings us to Gunnar Wilson for the visiting Hurricanes. And the pitch. Trace tried to catch him with a curveball that just misses the plate. So 1 ball and no strike. And Trace winds up, and the pitch, and he throws what looked to me like a beautiful inside ball right over the plate, but home umpire didn't see it. But from our vantage point, that looked like a well thrown ball. And the pitch, and this time he tries to go on the opposite corner and gets the job done. Excellent job on that pitch. Trace never gets phased, and he grooves a fastball with nice inside out movement on that. So far, Trace just hitting on all of his pitches practically, doing a nice job on the mound, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch once again, and he throws a curveball that comes inside at the last moment to get strike number 3. I think that's the best curveball I've seen all year long, because that one certainly looked like it was going to stay outside, but he's doing a beautiful job to catch the corner of the plate for the strikeout. And that brings us to the pitcher, Nick Ficarotto, with 2 outs here in the second inning. Trace gets the first ball over for a strike, and the windup, and Trace brings a fastball. That one's the first one that's been really outside, but I think he's trying to get the pitcher to chase one that maybe he wouldn't normally want to take a swing at. So with the count 1 ball and 1 strike, Trace go for it from the windup, and time is called on what was going to be a beautiful strike right down the middle. You hate to see that. Hey, how about calling a time, Blue, when the ball's going to be out of the strike zone? And that's somewhat of a head scratcher, because it doesn't appear like anybody really called time out there. But in any event, 1 ball and 2 strikes, and he brings the high heat, and Nick Ficarotto decides to lay off that pitch. And they just changed it, so it's 2 balls and 1 strike on the batter, and the pitch right down the middle, and it's going to be hit down the third base line, foul for strike number 2 on Nick Ficarado. This is the situation that Trace likes to be in. He's even on the count with 2 strikes. We're probably going to see his best pitch right here from the windup. And the pitch, and oh, a beautifully placed ball, but Nick Ficarado was able to get a piece of that one and stay alive. That definitely was going to be a strike if he didn't try to work on that one. So, like, once again, the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trace from the windup, and he's going to bring a fastball a little outside. Looked like Trace was a little off balance on the mound when he threw that one, so I can see he's adjusting on the rubber on the pitcher's mound right now. Trace does a great job. You won't see that mistake twice. The full count on Nick Ficarado, and the pitch, and a nice ball right down the middle. Nick Ficarado able to get a piece of it down the third base line, foul to stay alive with the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitchers not normally known as being hitters, but this young man is keeping himself alive. Let's see what Trace has in mind. From the windup, he brings a pitch right down the middle, and Nick Ficarado getting a hold of a ball right down the third base line. Fortunately, it went foul. So Nick Ficarado keeping himself alive here with 2 outs in the inning. Trace on the mound from the windup, and the pitch, and it's going to be a fastball right down the middle. You've got to be kidding me, ladies and gentlemen. I don't believe that I just saw, but that's a called ball 4 on a ball that was thrown right down the middle. That is really a head scratcher on that one. I know it's a little home cooking to claim that that ball was not a strike, but I think anybody viewing would agree that if there's any ball that would be called a strike, it should have been that one. But to no avail, the umpire has the final word. So with 2 outs in the second, runner on first, Trace on the mound, and he brings a fastball that's hit over into the parking lot on 17th Street side of the stadium. Channing Young, the batter for the Hurricanes. Trace from the stretch. He eyes the runner on first, and he gets a signal from Ty Hooks, and he throws a beautiful fastball right past Channing Young. I don't know if Channing Young was asleep there, but that was a well-played fastball by Trace Goforth. Trace checking the runner on first, and another pitch, and it's another fastball hit up to the middle. The second baseman, and it's not fielded, but he's able to turn in time to first base and get the out to retire the side. Nice job by Luca Taralva to maintain his composure and get the third out. So that leaves us with a score of 0-0 heading into the second half of the second inning. Ty Hooks, the batter for the Tigers. That's catcher Ty Hooks, number 28, facing Nick Pecoraro. And the pitch right down the middle, but low for ball one. Just got a little insight from Ty's dad that Ty is calling the pitches today. And he takes a ball, an outside pitch for strike one. Now that looked a little bit outside the strike zone, but the umpire and I aren't seeing eye to eye on some of these pitches. In any event, Nick Pecoraro comes back with a low-hanging fastball and gets Ty on the strike for the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes on the batter Ty Hooks from the windup. A ball thrown well inside. Great job from Ty Hooks to remain disciplined and not flinch on that pitch. 2-2 is the count. And the pitch from Nick Pecoraro. And Ty lays off of that pitch. Great job on the part of Ty Hooks to remain disciplined and not chase a ball that was outside. He had a notion there for a minute, but thought the better of it, and that's going to bring the count to full. So let's see if he sees a pitch he wants to swing at. And there's a fastball right down the middle on the outside, which Ty takes for strike number 3. And that leaves us to 1 out here in the second inning. And that's going to bring up second baseman Luca Toralba, a young man that does a nice job of hitting, timely hitting. Let's see if he can get the offense going here. He strides to the plate and the pitch, and it's going to be a high fastball. And there's a foul ball. That brings the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. And there's a ball hit in fair territory. It's a high fly ball, and there's some confusion, but Dustin Lowe finally settles under it to get out number 2. And with 2 outs here in the second inning, that's going to bring up left fielder Tyler Logan. Tyler, a young man that shows a lot of promise from the plate. Let's see if he can get on, and he's going to have a foul ball. And it looked for a moment there like it might make it into fair territory, but that's going to be foul ball for strike number 1. Nick Pecoraro settling down after a rough first inning. He's starting to hit his targets a little bit better, and he throws a curveball that is hit into the right field area. Tyler doing an excellent job of going with the pitch and squeezing a single between the second and first baseman for a base hit. So with 2 outs and a runner on, third baseman Maven Gordon up to the plate. He's checking signals with Coach Glass. Let's see if we've got something going on here. This is a good opportunity to test Palm Harbor defensively. We may see a hit and run. And with the first pitch, that's going to be a called strike on Maven Gordon. It looks to me like Tyler is getting a pretty good lead, so I have a sneaking suspicion we might see a steal or a hit and run on. Let's see here. And there's a base hit right up the middle, fielded nicely by the second baseman. A beautiful job of sliding to field that ball and make a nice, effortless toss to the shortstop to get out number 3. I'm very impressed with that play defensively, because it certainly looked like we were going to get a base hit and get something going offensively here in the second, but Palm Harbor, an excellent team, making a very nice defensive play. was a nice play, yeah. Okay, thanks. So I'm in the booth here. I'm talking to Jim Hooks, Tyler's dad, and he was just telling me what a great job the teams are doing defensively, and I really appreciate the additional commentary. You know, I've only got 2 eyes, so it always helps to get a little bit of assistance here in the booth. But in any event, we've got a defensive struggle so far, 0-0 here at the Zerk. And that's going to bring up shortstop Ted Mumar for the visiting Hurricanes. He's kind of a skinny fellow, but you know, you never know. He might have a little pop in his bat. Let's see what Trace has got planned for him. From the windup, the pitch, and he goes with the pitch and hits it to third baseman Maven Gordon, who fields it nicely and makes the throw to first for out number 1. Excellent job defensively by the Tigers on that play. And that's going to bring up center fielder Mitch Ferris, the leadoff hitter. Once again at bat, he's a lefty. And the pitch. And Ty brings a fastball that just moves off the plate and is inside for ball number 1. Trace sizes him up, and the pitch, and he throws a low fastball which is hit into right field directly to Byron Acevedo, who makes a really nice play to send Mitch Ferris into the dugout. 2 outs here in the 3rd inning, and that's going to bring up Dustin Lowe, number 3 for the Hurricanes. Ty with the windup, and a low fastball which is tipped off the foot of young Mr. Lowe, and that's going to hurt tomorrow. He's walking it off right now, but if you've ever done that before, you know a ball that is tipped and hits off the foot is never a good thing. And here comes the pitch, and it's going to be a little high and inside that time. I didn't think the batter was quite ready, so Trace trying to steal one on this. And from the windup, the pitch. Oh, and that's the first time today that he's had one that really got away from him. He ends up hitting the batter, Dustin Lowe, not able to get out of the way, so that's going to send him to a free trip to first base. So with no outs here in the 3rd inning and a runner on base, that's going to bring up third baseman Tanner Mink. So let's see what Palm Harbor has in store with no outs and a runner on first base. Trace brings a fastball on the outside of the plate, just missing to give us 1 ball and no strikes. Trace eyes the runner at first, taking a good lead. And he's going to make a throw over to first base. Nicely done by Gunnar Womar. And Trace Goforth from the stretch. He eyes the runner. And he's going to go back to first base. Going to try to hold that runner over on first. Doing a nice job. But the runner on base is taking a good lead. Tanner Mink making an indication he might try to steal. And there's a foul ball, and it's going to be in the 17th Street shrubbery. So just missing the car. If you've got a car over there, I'll tell you what, it's got a bullseye on it today, because that's about the 5th foul ball that's just barely missed that. What is that, a Toyota Corolla? If you're driving a Toyota Corolla, you might want to move it here at the stadium, because you're wearing a bullseye today. Trace Goforth throwing over to first base to hold runner Tanner Mink. Tanner looking like he might try to make a move towards second. Trace brings the pitch right down the middle, and that's going to be a base hit into left field. So, with no outs here in the third inning, we have runners in second and first base. And that's going to bring up Hunter Mink with a runner in scoring position. Let's see if Trace can work his way out of this jam. And then he steps off the plate. Ty Hooks making the call, and they're going to have a timeout to talk it over. Ty's calling the pitches today and then doing an excellent job. I think it's a great gesture from Coach Glass and the staff to let the senior catcher, who is very adroitly managing the baseball game with Tanner Goforth, to let him have the opportunity to call pitches. So with two runners on, both taking good leads, Trace brings the pitch. It's a fastball, and it's going to be a high fly ball into center field. And Mason Jantz settles under that nicely. So Trace able to work out of a little bit of a jam there in the third inning to get the third out on a fly ball to Mason Jantz. And that leaves us with a score after 2 innings. Into the third inning, we are looking at a score of 0-0. So far, a lot of defensive plays and some good pitching. We haven't really seen anything offensively. Hopefully the Tigers can get it going here in the third inning. Nick Ficarado on the mound for the Palm Harbor Hurricanes is doing a nice job of getting settled down. He had a little rough patch there in the first inning, but he has gained his control, and he's really been locating his pitches quite well, as Palmetto Tigers are having a hard time. First baseman Gunnar Womar stepping up to the plate here in the third inning for the Palmetto Tigers. Gunnar, a young man with a lot of power. Let's see if he can do something with it. And there's a fastball over the top that is going to be called ball one. A great job by Gunnar Womar to lay off what looked like a very enticing pitch. And the pitch, the second pitch, and Gunnar hits a hard grounder to the third baseman, who fires over for out number one. Nicely played ball by Tanner Mink for the Hurricanes to get the first out. And with that, designated hitter Brecken Fair coming up to the plate. Brecken is quite a wiry kid. He's skinny and tall, but I've seen him in batting practice. He's got a lot of pop in his bat. Let's see if he can get something going here for the Tigers in the third inning. And the pitch. And Brecken makes a notion to bunt the ball. And he did get a piece of that ball, so that's going to be a called strike on Brecken. Now let's see if Coach Glass keeps the bunt on, or if he gives Brecken an opportunity to swing away. And the pitch, and it's a low fastball. Brecken takes a swing but is not able to connect, so he's got himself in a little bit of a hole here. 0-2. Brecken, a good hitter. Let's see if he can manage this situation. And there's an outside setup by the catcher, and that's going to be ball one. A nice job on Palm Harbor's part to try to see if they can entice Brecken to go after a bad pitch. 1-2 strikes. And he throws a changeup on the outside corner. Brecken way ahead of that one for strike number 3. That was a nicely delivered changeup by Nick Ficarado on designated hitter Brecken Fair. Now, back to the top of the lineup, we've got leadoff hitter Mason Jantz. Mason, a really good hitter, doing a good job this year. Let's see if we can get something going. The pitch, Mason taking a strike. It looked like he was going to try to bunt. He pulled off that pitch, but it did catch the outside corner for a strike. Let's see if Coach Glass wants him to attempt another bunt. He's going to swing away, and there's a foul ball into the home dugout. It's going to run the count to 0 ball and 2 strikes against Mason Jantz. Nick Ficarado settling down nicely in this game. He sets up outside as is often done when you have 0 balls and 2 strikes. You've got a pitch to waste to see if you can get the hitter to chase after a bad one, but no go for Mason Jantz. And the pitch, and a curveball hit to left center field, settling under it nicely, the Palm Harbor left fielder for out number 3. So at the end of 3, that brings us to Tigers 0, Palm Harbor 0. This is the Palmetto Tigers Baseball Sports Network, a part of Tiger Vision, the #1 webcast in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not able to get to the ballpark, I hope that you get a chance to view the game at any of our fine local restaurants or sports bars, and if you're not able to do that, you can always catch the replay on YouTube or by going to PalmettoTigers.com and hit the link for Tiger Baseball. Going into the 4th inning, Trace Goforth so far, not sure where he is on his pitch count, but he's been doing an excellent job of keeping Palm Harbor's hitters off balance. Trace showing the usual adroit control of his pitches, and he's been doing an excellent job of that all season long. And then all of the broadcasts that we have done, I've been very impressed with his command of his fastball and the location. He's a tough pitcher to figure out because he is able to hit on all locations over the plate. That's what you want with your pitcher, is to be able to locate anywhere to keep the batters guessing, of course. So Trace having an excellent year on the mound for Palmetto. And that brings us into the 4th inning. Palm Harbor to bat. The pitch, and it's going to be grooved just outside. Pat Keenan, the batter for the Hurricanes, takes ball 1. Trace with the pitch, and he gets a high fastball. He gets him to swing on it, and it's a high fly ball just on the edge of the outfield. And second baseman Luke Toralva settles under it nicely for the first out in the 4th inning. And that's going to bring up designated hitter Gunnar Wilson for the Palm Harbor Hurricanes. He's a big boy. I think we want to be careful on the pitch that we let him see. Probably has a lot of power. But Trace, unfazed, brings his best fastball right on the outside plate for strike 1. Excellent location once again by Trace. And the pitch, and he goes back to that same location. This time he's getting the batter to chase after it, and the fly ball is going to go just outside of the infield. Once again, coming close to our friend who owns the Toyota Corolla. If you're out there, might want to think about moving it, because these batters are zeroing in on that location on the 17th Street parking lot. And the pitch to Gunnar Wilson, and it is a curveball. He gets it. It's a pop ball into right field, and it was not fielded by Byron Acevedo. Byron unable to make the play. I think he must have had a little bit of difficulty with the sun, because he hesitated before making his move to attempt to catch that ball, and that allows Gunnar Wilson to slide safely into second base for a double. So with 1 out in the 4th inning, with a runner in scoring position, for the Hurricanes. That's going to bring up the pitcher, Nick Ficarado, maybe thinking that he might be able to help his own cause here with a base hit. And the pitch from Trace, and that's going to be a fastball that just misses a little bit high, making it 1 ball and no strikes against Nick Ficarado. And the runner, Gunnar Wilson, taking a lead. Trace checking, but he brings it home, and he gets the batter to hit a high fly, infield pop fly to first baseman Gunnar Wolmar. Gunnar settling under the ball nicely for out number 2 in the 4th inning. And that's going to bring Channing Young, the catcher for the Palm Harbor Hurricanes. And this is another big boy. Most of the time when you see guys that size in high school, you're looking at guys with power. Trace, with a runner on, is going to have to watch it. The infield fakes the ball to move to second base, but they decide not to do that. But it did effectively hold Gunnar Wilson on second base. But that's going to give us a called ball. A nice job by Ty Hooks to field that low fastball. And the pitch. And Trace with a fastball right down the middle, just missing the strike zone for 2 balls and no strikes on Channing Young. Let's see what. And Trace makes a move to second, but the base runner not fooled. Trace getting the signal from Ty from the stretch. He checks the runner and the pitch, and he has a nice job of locating that area on the outside front corner. That is really Trace's go-to pitch right there. And the batter, Channing Young, able to get a piece of that one because it was definitely going to be in the strike zone. Trace doing a nice job with that pitch today. He checks the runner. And from the stretch, the pitch, and another fastball on the outside. Channing Young not having any of that pitch, showing nice discipline because that was one that could easily have been chased after, and that's going to run the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes on Mr. Young, Channing Young. And from the stretch, a curveball. It's going to hit just off the plate, and that's going to advance Channing Young to first base on a base on balls. So with 2 outs here in the 4th inning, we've got a little excitement with 2 runners on at second and first, and coach is going to have a chat with Trace Goforth. I'm sure they're going to be going over situational baseball right now. It's important that you make sure that your pitcher is on the same page with you when you've got a couple of runners on, and you want to settle him down too, because Trace doing a nice job. Might have been a little bit frustrated that we didn't get that first runner out on the fly ball. So they're having a conversation on the mound. Now the home plate umpire going out to have a chat with the boys. Let's see if we might be looking at a pitching change. Nope. Just wanted to settle Trace down a little bit. Trace does an excellent job with 2 outs of staying focused to keep the pressure on the batter. And that's important because Jake Mumar on the plate takes an inside ball. Jake is a lefty. Once again, we've got 2 runners on, 1 in scoring position. Fortunately, the runner on scoring position looks like he's a tad bit slow. And Trace brings the second pitch off the plate for ball number 2. Once again, 2 balls and no strikes with 2 outs. Let's see, Trace settles down. He's in the stretch. He checks the runner on second. And the pitch. And it's going to be a little bit low. And that's going to bring it to 3 balls and no strikes. Ty Hook's doing a nice job of keeping the ball in front of him so the runners don't have an opportunity to advance. So now Trace taking a little deep breath here. I think he's going to get his composure back, get settled down, and get a nice pitch on this batter. And he brings it, and that's going to be right on the edge of the plate for strike number 1. Excellent job. Trace does a really nice job of in-game adjustments and really grooved that pitch nicely. So with 3 balls and 1 strike and 2 runners on, the pitch comes in. It's going to be low ball hit right to Trace Goforth, who fields it nicely and throws to first base for out number 3. An excellent job by Trace to work his way out of that jam. Really impressed with the composure and maturity that Trace shows. You know, a lot of pitchers will sometimes succumb to pressure when you get a few runners on, especially if one play or 2 in the field doesn't go your way, but Trace remained unfazed. He settled down nicely and got the job done to retire the side in that inning. So I know there's probably a lot of people today that may be making it over to the Seafood Festival, which is here at Sutton Park in Palmetto. But if you have got time and you want to take a break from all the festivities over there, come on over here and catch the half we have left for Tiger Baseball. We've got a good one. 2 really good teams facing off today. 2 really good pitchers. It's so far been a pitcher's duel. No score here in the 4th inning. Nick Ficarado, pretty impressive thus far for the Palm Harbor Hurricanes. He has settled down nicely after a rough first inning, and he's really located well. It's really a pitcher's duel today so far. Each guy has been had really great moments in location, and when you have 2 good pitchers going, it's not surprising that you don't see a lot of offense. But let's see if we can get something going here in the 4th. The pitch outside to Byron Acevedo, the right fielder for the Palmetto Tigers. Bats left. And the windup. And the ball outside the plate. A nice job by Byron to show patience on that pitch, because that very well could have been called a strike, but it is 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch, Nick Ficarado, well off the plate that time to give us a count of 2 balls and a strike. Nick working a faster pace right now, and a ball hit into right field. That's going to be a single, and a wild throw. We're going to have Byron is going to advance to second on the wild throw to put himself in scoring position. An excellent job of having the presence of mind to recognize that the throw was off. He didn't realize that the right fielder was going to try to make a play on him at first base, but I don't think the first baseman for Palm Harbor was quite ready for that. And that's a throwing error that's going to allow Palmetto High to get a runner in scoring position in the 4th. An excellent opportunity here for the Tigers with no outs. And that brings up shortstop Hunter Thiel. And Hunter is due for some offense, so let's see if he can get a base hit here and drive in Byron Acevedo. And the pitch low and outside. A good job by Harrison to lay off a very tempting pitch. 1 ball and no strike. See if Nick Ficarado can handle a little pressure with a runner on in scoring position, and he throws from the stretch, and there's a ball hit to third baseman, and he checks Byron at second and then makes the throw to first base for out number 1. An excellent job by the third baseman for Palm Harbor, fielding a very hard hit grounder by Harrison Thiel. And that's going to bring Ty Hooks to the plate. Once again, Ty, the team leader, the senior catcher, a young man with a lot of power. He loves situations like this when he's got a runner in scoring position. Let's see if we can cash in the pitch. And it's going to be a slow curveball that does not hit the mark. And that's going to be ball number 1 on Ty Hooks. Ty doing an excellent job of being patient at the plate. Nick Ficarado starting to feel a little pressure with 1 out and the runner on. He throws a fastball, and Ty Hooks, a drive deep to left field, and it is gone. He just went yard in the 4th inning. Ty Hooks getting all of that one to drive in Myron Acevedo and to give the Tigers a 2-0 lead here in the 4th inning. Nick Ficarado, giving up a pitch you do not want to give to a hitter like Ty Hooks, because Ty Hooks just crushed that one into left field, and it wasn't even close, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's in the pond over there behind the visitors' bleachers at Harley Stadium. So Ty Hooks delivering. He's having an excellent day today, both offensively and defensively, to give the Tigers the lead. And that brings Luca Torralva up to the plate with 1 out. And takes a ball on the first pitch. Nick Ficarado doing a good job up until a runner on. I think and another base hit. It's going to be in left field, but the left fielder making a diving catch there. Excellent defensive play to get Luke Torralva out, and a ball that looked like it was going to fall in for fair play. And once again, I just have to give props. Ty Hooks just getting all of that last pitch. Nick Ficarado might want to think twice before throwing that pitch because he got ate up on it. Anyway, with 2 outs, that's going to bring up Tyler Logan, the left fielder. Tyler, due for a little offensive self. Let's see if he can get it going. And the pitch, it's a fastball, and it's going to be low. And that runs the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. I think Rich looks like he's giving Tyler the sign to swing away here. And there's a base hit, or a grounder rather, to the pitcher right up the middle. It looked like it was going to be a base hit there, but Nick Ficarado doing a nice job to field the ball for the 3rd out. But with the previous batter, the damage was done as Ty Hooks takes a ball deep into left field to drive in 2 runs to give the Palmetto Tigers a 2-0 lead after 4 innings. And that is going to be comforting news to Trace Goforth. I'm sure Trace is happy to have a lead now. Anytime a pitcher gets a couple of run lead on a good baseball team, that gives him confidence, renewed confidence. And Trace, no stranger to strong competition, I'm sure appreciates his battery counterpart in giving Palmetto the lead. Ty has a lot of power, but he was able to take advantage of the wind as well, because that ball, I think that ball might still be drifting out there. It went a long ways here on the campus of Palmetto High School. And that's going to bring us into the 5th inning. Leadoff hitter Mitch Ferris for the visiting Palm Harbor Hurricanes. Trace Goforth still on the mound in the 5th, doing a good job today as always. Trace, a very savvy baseball player. And the pitch, and he throws the ball. It's going to be called just low for ball 1 to Mitch Ferris. looking for Trace to really ramp up his location spots because and the ball is driven into left center field, but center fielder Mason Jans with excellent speed tracks that one down for the first out here in the 5th inning. Second baseman Dustin Lowe up for the Hurricanes. I was just trying to stress that Trace has an opportunity here. He's showing a little bit more repertoire, and he's getting these guys to chase after balls. And that one was just fielded by shortstop Harrison Thiel. A nice job of tracking down a pop fly for out number 2. And that brings Tanner Mink up to bat for the Palm Harbor Hurricanes. Again, Trace doing an excellent job. I think he and Ty are expanding the pitching now that we're into the 5th inning. They're bringing out a few more pitches than what we've seen thus far in the contest. Trace with the pitch, and he throws an inside fastball. Tanner Mink pulls that into the Palmetto dugout to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Yes, this young man Tanner Mink is known to have some power, so we got to be careful on this batter. Since we've got the lead, we don't want to make any mistakes and give Palm Harbor an opportunity to get back in this contest. But Trace from the windup, a fastball right up the middle, and that's going to be hit foul down the 3rd baseline for strike number 2. Well, when Trace feels like a batter is picking up his locations, he goes back to his bread and butter, and it usually works, and it did just then. And the pitch, a curveball, hanging curveball. It's a high fly ball into right center field, and Byron Acevedo settles under it nicely for out number 3. Trace doing an excellent job adjusting his pitches and showing a little more variety here in the 5th inning. An excellent job. We'll see if we're going to see Trace in the 6th inning. Not sure what the pitch count is at this point. I'll try to get a report on that if I can find out what his pitch count is. We may see. He's in the 70s, so we might have seen the last of Trace. We'll see. But regardless, he's done an excellent job keeping the hitters at Palm Harbor High School off balance. Folks, once again, if you're in the area and you're catching our broadcast and you have an opportunity, you can catch the tail end of action. I think after the 4th inning, they no longer charge for admission, so you could come in and get a chance to see the tail end of this game. A really good contest today between 2 excellent teams. Palmetto just taking the lead in the last inning with a home run by Ty Hooks, in case you missed it. Palm Harbor staying with pitcher Nick Ficarado. He's had a good outing today, other than that very costly mistake that he gave to catcher Ty Hooks. But other than that, Nick Ficarado has done a good job keeping Tiger batters off balance. Let's see if we can get some insurance runs here this inning. And center fielder Mason Jans at the plate. Check that. Maven Gordon, I beg your pardon, Maven Gordon, the 3rd baseman, is up to bat. And it's 1 ball. And the delivery, and he hits a fly ball into center field, and that's going to be right to the center fielder for out number 1. And that's going to bring up first baseman Gunnar Womar. Gunnar, another young man with a lot of power, and I think he's been a little frustrated the past few at-bats. Let's see if Gunnar can deliver here and get on base or deliver an extra run for some insurance. Gunnar, an excellent hitter. And the Palm Harbor coach, it looks like we're going to see another pitcher. It looks like we're going to be bringing in a lefty reliever, number 10. Okay, Mitch Ferris coming in. Mitch coming from outfield to take the mound for the Hurricanes, and he's a tall lefty, and it looks here from his warm-ups that he's got some good speed and good movement. I don't know how many lefty pitchers that we've seen this year, but this young man looks to be a good one. So a challenge for our hitters. Let's see if Gunnar Womar can make the adjustment on the lefty. Coach Glass having a word with the hitters. I'm sure he's reminding them, since we have a lefty, you've got to remember that the ball is going to come inside on you more, especially somebody with the movement displayed here by Mitch Ferris. All right, once again, Mitch Ferris taking the mound for the visiting Hurricanes, facing first baseman Gunnar Womar. Gunnar, a young man with excellent power. I know he would love to get a hold of one and match with his friend and teammate Ty Hooks, give Palmetto High a little insurance in this contest. And from the windup, the first pitch, and it's a fastball well outside. And that brings the count to 1 ball and no strikes against Gunnar Womar. And he waits for the pitch, and it's going to be another fastball off the plate. Run the count to 2-0. Gunnar doing an excellent job of waiting for this pitcher to try to settle down. So far, he's a bit erratic, coming off out of the outfield to take them out. And there's a fastball that's hit up the middle to the shortstop. And the throw, and he gets there in time. So Gunnar Womar out with a ground ball to the shortstop at Palm Harbor. And that's going to bring up designated hitter Brecken Fair. Brecken, a lefty, going up against a lefty, that's always a challenge. So as a left-hander myself, you don't get to see too many good left-handed pitchers, and when you do, you don't have that much time to adjust. Brecken taking a little bit of time out for an equipment adjustment. A good opportunity to make Mitch Ferris think about it a little bit. He's been erratic so far since he entered the game, so let's see if Brecken can show some good discipline in the plate and get a pitch that he wants and put himself on base for the Tigers. The pitch, and it's going to be a fastball. It's hit up the middle, and it's fielded by Mitch Ferris, and he does a nice job of maintaining his composure. Brecken doing a nice job of hitting the ball up the middle, but excellent play by the pitcher, Mitch Ferris, to retire the side. So after 6 innings, your score, Palmetto Tigers 2, Palm Harbor Hurricanes nothing. Palmetto doing an excellent job today, both offensively and defensively, to maintain the lead. And let's see if we can get this game in the books here. And it looks like Trace is going to come back here in the 6th inning. I know the coaches were debating whether or not that they should pull him, but I think his pitch count is in the safe range for him, and he's having a really good contest so far. So the decision is Trace is good to go for this inning anyway. Let's see how it plays out. But So far in this contest, Trace showing his usual excellent control and command of his pitches. In fact, in the last inning, they opened up the book a little bit and attempted a few more backdoor pitches on Palm Harbor, which I think was a good strategy given that these guys have seen Trace for a couple of innings. But in any event, Trace doing an excellent job as usual. And that's going to bring up Hunter Mink, center fielder Hunter Mink for the Palm Harbor Hurricanes. He's a good-sized young man. I know he's got some power, so once again, Trace wanting to be careful not to give the Hurricanes any opportunities here. And the pitch, and he throws a fastball right down the middle, just missing the strike zone for ball number 1 from the windup. The pitch, and he throws another fastball, and wow, did that look really close to the strike zone. Hard to see what the umpire is seeing sometimes, but Trace, unfazed, brings a pitch and catches the outside corner. Once again, his bread and butter on that fastball, doing a nice job of grooving it in there for strike number 1. And once again, and there's a ball. It's a high fly ball to right center field, and Byron Acevedo settles it under it nicely for out number 1. Byron, a lot of speed in center field, which is one of the things you look for in a center fielder, because anything that gets hit in his area is usually going to be fielded, and he did an excellent job getting underneath that one for out number 1. And that brings up Pat Keenan for the Hurricanes. Trace with the fastball, and it's a foul ball. It's at the dugout of the visitors, just outside of the field of play. For a moment there, it looks like Ty Hooks might have been able to make a play on it. I know he was trying to coax that ball back inside the fence there, but to no avail. In any event, that's strike number 1 for Pat Keenan. And Trace, once again, from the windup. And the pitch, and he grooves a fastball right down Main Street. I tell you what, at this point in the game, it's hard to believe that any of the hitters for Palm Harbor would lay off. That's a pitch you got to go after when you're behind, because Trace just threw it right down the middle. But beautiful job on that pitch. And now a curveball, and it's hit just at the edge of the infield, or the outfield rather, to sneak in a single. Pat Keenan doing a nice job on a check swing to get the ball in fair territory and inside the outfield for a single. And with that, it looks like Rich is going to head to the mound. I think Coach Glass is probably thinking, let's not take any chances here. Trace having such an excellent job today and getting close to his pitch count. There's no reason for him to be upset, because he did an excellent job. And at this point in the ball game, with a young pitcher who is, been out there for a long time, fatigue starts to set in. So it's a good idea to bring relief in and close the door on the contest. And that's going to bring up relief pitcher Jaron Smith. Jaron, a righty, and he's a tall young man, and he's got a really nice whip action on his fastball. I've had a chance to watch him in practice do some work, and I've been impressed with what he does. He has nice movement on his ball, and I think this is a good time to bring him in to close the door on Palm Harbor Hurricanes. It looks like the wind is picking up a little bit, but blowing in, which bodes well for Palmetto at this juncture in the game, because it looks like we've got the power of the lineup coming up for the Palm Harbor Hurricanes. So any advantage that we can get is always appreciated. Number 28, Gunnar Wilson, up to the bat, and he is the designated hitter. So a young man with a lot of power. We certainly don't want to make any mistakes at this juncture with a runner on base at first. Jaron Smith checks the runner from the windup, and he throws, and that's going to be high for ball number 1. Typically, when you get your reliever to come in at this juncture, you might see the first few pitches be just off target. Let's see if Jaron can settle down. Oh my goodness. We have a balk call, which advances the runner from first to second. And for those of you who are not familiar with that, it means that the pitcher did not stop his motion before delivery to either first base or home. And the reason that that is a penalty is that it gives an unfair advantage to the pitcher over the base runner. Jaron making a costly mistake there to put the runner in scoring position, but let's see if he can settle down. He's checking the runner at second, and the pitch, and he throws a curveball, and it's hit right to the shortstop, who throws at first base, and a first baseman, Gunnar Walmar, making an excellent play on a high throw from Harrison Thiel. Harrison making a little bit of a throwing mistake. I think he was checking the runner to see if he might try to advance past third base, and that caused him to rush the throw. But first baseman Gunnar Walmar doing exactly what a good first baseman is supposed to do, which is get the ball first and then find the base for the out. So 2 outs right now with a runner on third, and the pitch is up the middle, and that's fouled off into the home plate fence for strike number 1. A nice job by Jaron Smith on that pitch, and he checks the runner at third. And the pitch, and he throws a curveball that is low, almost catching the strike zone, but just a bit outside to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Once again, a runner on third base, a potential scorer, and a ball is hit to right field. It's going to score the run from third base. Pat Keenan coming in from third to give Palm Harbor a run, and that cuts the lead in half. It is now 2-1 Palmetto over the Hurricanes, but with 2 outs here and a runner on, a little cause for concern that we make sure we focus on getting the batter, and Jaron Smith in a little bit of a jam. Jaron taking his time, stepping off. I think Coach Glass is going to take a timeout. I think this is a good move. Coach Glass is either going to get Jaron to settle down, or he's going to bring somebody else to face this guy. And yes, that is the case. This young man capable of giving Palm Harbor the lead with 1 swing of the bat. He is a big boy and has a reputation for a lot of power. And the last thing we want to do at the tail end of the game here is give up a home run and give up the lead. But fortunately, we've got 2 outs here, so if we're bringing in a relief pitcher that can close the door, we can close this game out and get out of here with a win today.
Jim, can you
What's this kid's name? Adam Evans. Adam Evans. Did you hear me? Adam Evans. Adam. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a pitching change. Number 21 for the Tigers, Adam Evans, coming in to close the door. Don't know the book on Adam Evans. I can tell you that in warm-ups I've seen him throw some tremendous heat. He's got an arm, and he is a pretty strong-looking young man, but I don't know quite what his record has been so far. But Coach Glass having full confidence in this young man, or he wouldn't be in the game in this situation. But he's got himself in a little bit of a jam with a runner on first and 2 outs. He doesn't want to give up a run. He gives up a curveball, and he gets the designated hitter, Channing Young, to chase after it for a foul ball. So a nice job by Adam Evans right off the bat to get ahead in the count. Adam checking the runner at first. Ty Hooks setting up on the outside of the plate, and he throws another curveball right over the middle. A beautiful breaking ball. Channing Young not wanting to take a swing at that. That's a little surprising, but Adam Evans putting himself in good shape with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Let's see if he can get the job done here. He throws a fastball outside. Ty Hooks very adroitly jumps on a low ball that was a little bit of a wild pitch, keeps it in front of him, and holds the runner on first base. I tell you what, that is exactly what you want out of a catcher, is the ability to do that play on a consistent basis. And Ty Hooks, the senior, getting the job done. He sets up on the outside of the plate again, and there's a pitch. Oh my goodness. And Channing Young laid off of it. I'm not sure how, because that was a great call by Ty, trying to set him up for the outside fastball. When you get 2 strikes in this situation, more likely it is not, the batter is going to go after that. And the pitch, and another curveball, and he strikes him out. Excellent job by Adam Evans. He had ice in his veins on that one, ladies and gentlemen, because that could have been a dangerous situation, but he got that ball in there. Channing Young not ready for the curveball, and a day late at $1 short on the swing. An excellent job by Adam Evans in relief of Trace Goforth, and I'm sure Trace has given his buddy Adam Evans a pat on the back on that one. A nicely done job by the battery of Adam Evans and Ty Hooks. Ty calling an excellent game today behind the plate. Really happy that Coach Glass is allowing him to make the calls, knowing that he has the confidence in his senior catcher, a young man that's going to be playing ball at the next level next year in college. With his skill set, it's no wonder that he does an excellent job of calling pitches. A really important aspect in high school baseball is calling pitches, and normally your coaching staff and your pitching coach are going to be taking the lead on that, but the Palmetto coaching staff, having such great confidence in Ty and knowing what a heady ball player he is, have given him the reins, and he has done an outstanding job of keeping Palm Harbor off base in the contest today. That last at bat, a prime example, because a very dangerous designated hitter, Channing Young, totally caught off guard by the last 2 pitches when he had an opportunity to possibly give his team the lead. So excellent contest today for Palmetto, a 2-1 ball game, and this would be a nice win if we can close this out, because we're facing a very talented Palm Harbor team, and Palmetto, of course, very talented in its own right, but you love to see winning the close games at home. And this has been a well-played baseball game. And that's going to bring up center fielder Mason Jans, the leadoff hitter. Mason hasn't had any success yet at the plate, so he's a due, but I know that he's a very competitive young man, and let's see if he can get on base. The pitch, and it looks like a bunt attempt, and that's going to go into the bleachers. Excellent opportunity to get Mason on the base, but not able to execute the laydown bunt. So that puts him behind with one strike, and the pitch, and it's going to be a looping curveball that just drifts in the back end of the plate. That is as tough a pitch as you will see to try to hit, because it's way outside the strike zone until the last second, and the catcher sets up way outside for a fastball, trying to see if they can get old Mason to chase after a bad pitch, but he is showing excellent discipline at the plate. And the pitch, once again, it's going to be low ball. He takes a swing, and it's thrown down to first base to get Mason Jans out for out number one. And right fielder Byron Acevedo coming up to the plate. Byron having an excellent day in the field. A lefty versus a lefty. Once again, the challenge is being able to handle the breaking ball, which comes really far inside, and there's a perfect example as Byron lays off what would normally be a ball you would go after to take a strike. And the pitcher again, but Byron, unfazed, hits a grounder to second base, and unfortunately not able to beat the run, but he was not fooled by that same pitch a second time. The pitcher going to the well, but unfortunately not able to capitalize and get on base. So with two outs, shortstop Harrison Thiel is going to take the mound, or going to be up, or are we having a change? Let's see. The coaches are getting together. Are we going to have a pinch hitter? Let's see. No, it looks like we might be changing pitchers here. So it looks like the Palm Harbor Hurricanes are going to make a change. They're going to go to Tanner Mink, Hunter's brother, who's a righty, and he's coming in, and well, he's all over the place on his warm-ups, but you can see that this young man has got an arm. If he finds the plate, it's going to be tough for the Tiger hitters. And Tanner Mink showing a lively fastball. He's been a little erratic in his warm-ups, but he's starting to settle down, and he has got an arm. I can see the Mink brothers. I know there's probably a lot of jokes running around in Palm Harbor about that one, but both of these young men showing excellent skills on the mound. Both have good size. They're both strong, have excellent fastballs. We'll see if the control matches his power with his pitches. A challenge for shortstop Harrison Thiel, but let's see if Harrison can take advantage of the pitching change and get himself on base here, and hopefully we can get another run for insurance before the game is out. And the pitch and it's a curveball right over the front right corner of the plate. That is as pretty of a curveball pitch as you will see. Hunter Mink, or Tanner Mink rather, and it goes back to the well, but this time he's well outside to even the count at 1-1 strike on Harrison Thiel. Harrison showing good discipline that time. Let's see if he's going to change the pitch. And he throws that fastball on the outside, and I'm telling you, I've got to question the strike zone on this umpire, because that was well outside the plate. I'm sitting directly in line between the pitcher and the catcher, and a wild curveball. Harrison Thiel has to get as low as you can to avoid getting hit. I thought we were going to get a free pass on the base there, but he was able to avoid that pitch. 2-2 count, and another wild curveball that allows Harrison to just dip out of the way, and that's going to run the count full. So Tanner Mink losing his composure a little bit on the last two pitches, allowing the count to be full. Let's see what happens. And he throws a fastball on the outside, which is outside the strike zone, and that's going to give a runner at first base in the form of Harrison Thiel. Harrison doing a great job after getting behind in the count of settling down and getting himself on base. So now a dangerous situation for Palm Harbor. The dangerous Mr. Hooks up to bat once again, and if you were following our broadcast earlier, he had a 2-run home run, and a wild pitch is going to advance the shortstop Harrison Thiel, and he is now in scoring position. So bad news for Palm Harbor, because if Ty can put a ball fairly into play, we're going to have another run, which is exactly what we wanted to see. And if this pitcher is not careful, he could find himself down 2 more runs with the explosive Mr. Hooks at the bat. And there's a high fastball. Ty does a great job of laying off, because I know he would have loved to have taken a swing at that one, but he thought the better of it. And he gives himself a advantage in the count, 2 balls and no strike. So let's see if he's going to see a pitch that he wants. I think Hunter Mink is going to be thinking about this one very carefully. Do not want to give a good ball for Ty to hit. And the pitch, it's a fastball. Ty fouls it off once again. Oh, our friends with the Toyota finally made the move, but there's a, looks like a silver Chevy pickup truck who's next in line in target on the 17th Street parking lot, just missing. Ty Hooks with the foul ball. 2 balls and a strike. Hunter Mink, he stares him down. There's the pitch, and it's a curveball, and it's hit into fair play. The third baseman feels it, and it's a throw, and it's a wild throw, and Ty is going to make it to second, and Hunter Thiel with an insurance run on the wild throw. And that is a great job by Ty Hooks to make the turn on the wild throw and advance to second base, and Hunter Thiel with the heads-up play to make sure that he gets the run across the base. The ball could have been fielded by the first baseman and held him, but Hunter way too far out front on that play. So that runs the count, the score in this game rather, to 3-1 Palmetto with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Hunter Mink checking the runner and the fastball, and that's going to be called strike. Luca Torralva. Luca, the second baseman, with a runner in scoring position. Let's see if we can get a base hit here, and a curveball that was beautifully thrown. Curveball there by Hunter Mink. I mean, it just barely caught the outside corner. That is a very difficult pitch to hit for anyone. And Luca Torralva not able to connect, and it runs the count to 0-2. And the pitch, and there's a fastball on the outside. Luca fights it off nicely to stay alive in the contest. Luca's due for a little offense, so let's see. With 2 strikes, Hunter Mink might decide to give him a pitch he can hit. If we can get this in play, this would be a nice insurance run if we can get Ty Hooks across the home plate here. And there's a fastball once again on the outside, and Luca once again does a nice job of fouling that off and staying alive. It's in a situation like this where sometimes the pitcher will make a mistake. They get a little frustrated when they're up 2 strikes, but they can't close escrow on a strikeout. He might give something that Luca can hit here, so let's see if he tries to come back to the middle of the plate. Ty, check that. We've got a pinch runner for Ty. That makes sense. The pinch runner taking a good lead, and there's a curveball. Luca takes a swing, and he's not able to connect, so there's a strikeout there for Hunter Mink, but the damage done, we were able to score an additional insurance run, nicely done by the Tigers, to take a 3-1 lead over the visiting Palm Harbor Hurricanes. So great job by the Tigers. I tell you, this has developed into an excellent baseball game, and all indications are we have an opportunity here to get a win against a very good baseball team if we can take care of our business here defensively. Once again, young Adam Evans on the mound for the Tigers, doing a great job in that last inning to close the door on a potential scoring threat by Palm Harbor. Now let's see what he can do when he's pitching from the windup and he doesn't have the pressure of having a runner on the base. Now he's going to have to do a little bit more targeting on his pitches, but he has shown in warm-ups and in practices that I've seen that he has excellent command of his pitches, and we look for him to do a good job here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not able to stop by for the close of this contest, remember that the remaining home games at Palmetto are going to be televised in Tiger Vision, so check the schedule on the home page for Palmetto High School or PalmettoTigers.com. You can get the schedule, and if you are able, get out to the field, but if not, check your local fine sports bars or restaurants in the area that will be carrying the broadcast, and you'll get a chance to see Palmetto Tigers baseball on Tiger Vision, the #1 webcast in the world. And a ball hit into left field, nicely done job of hitting, and he's going to stretch it out and try to get into second base, and he is a sliding second baseman, or double rather, past our second baseman to get the double, and it looked like Tyler Logan took his time a little bit too much out there on that ball, and the runner for Palm Harbor with some speed did a nice job to sneak in there for a double. So a mistake gives the Hurricanes a runner in scoring position, and the pitch from Adam Evans is going to be a called strike on the outside of the plate. So a nice job to bounce back. And you know, the interesting thing here is with Adam Evans, he might be a better pitcher with a runner on than without. He's shown a lot of control when he has a runner on, and he's pitching from the windup, and there's a ball that's a slow roller hit up the middle, and Hunter Thiel makes the play, but the throw is not in time. So with no outs, we have runners in the corners at first and third. Not a good situation for the Palmetto Tigers with a 2-run lead, and that's going to bring up number 3, Dustin Lowe, the second baseman for Palm Harbor, and Adam Evans in a little bit of a jam here. Let's see if he gets down to business, and he throws a ball, and it's going to be a low ball handled nicely by Ty Hooks, once again making a nice defensive play by keeping the ball in front of him and not allowing an opportunity for the runner at first to advance to second base. So 1 ball and no strikes. Young Adam Evans on the mound. He checks the runner at first, and from the windup he throws, and he gets the batter to chase a ball outside for the first strike. Excellent job on that play by Adam Evans. Ty Hooks again doing a great job of calling this game, and a well-placed ball by Adam Evans on that one for the chase. And the pitch, and he throws a fastball up the middle. It's hit right to the shortstop. We've got a double play made. Nicely done by Palmetto to execute the double play. Well done. Harrison Thiel calmly fielding the ball and making a well-placed throw to first baseman to get 2 outs. So a runner is scored, but working out of a jam in a potential more dangerous situation there for Palmetto, maintaining the lead and having 2 outs with no runners on, a much better situation than a moment ago. Adam Evans throws a curveball and just missing the corner on that to run the count to 1-0. And we've got Pat Keenan once again at the plate, and he takes another ball on the outside by Adam Evans. Adam seems to pick up the pace a little bit on his pitching, which most guys do when there's not a runner on, but the danger is you've got to maintain your location. You can't just go at a faster pace. But that time, throwing a ball inside over the plate for a strike, a foul ball strike, to run the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. And there's a curveball, and it's going to be a wild pitch, striking the batter, Tanner Mink, and allowing him to advance to first base. So, not what you want to see here towards the end of the game. Can't lose our composure. And that's going to bring Tanner's brother, Hunter, up to the plate, a young man with some power. So another situation where Adam Evans is going to have to be careful, but he likes to work with runners on the base for some reason. And he throws a fastball that just misses. And as you can probably tell from the fans' reaction, we're all scratching our heads on some of these pitches that are over the plate, while the ones that are clearly a little outside are being called as strikes. And that's one of the frustrations you have with umpires is where's the consistency on the strike zone. But nevertheless, the ruling is a ball, and that runs the count to 2 balls and no strike. And a little conversation by Harrison Thiel to settle down young Adam Evans, and that's a nice heady play on his part to just take a timeout moment and get him to settle down here and maintain his composure. And now, wind up. He throws the ball. Oh, and Hunter Mink had a notion, but decided to lay off that one. And that ball outside the strike zone runs the count to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Let's see if Adam Evans can work out of this jam. He throws a fastball, and it's hit right up the middle, left center field, and that's going to go to the warning track. And here's the throw. Here comes Hunter Thiel, and it looks like the coach for Palm Harbor decided to hold up Hunter Mink rather than have an opportunity to score. And I have to say that was a smart play on his part, because Hunter Thiel was about to throw that young man out, but the damage done advances 2 runners into scoring position. So we've got the coaches going out to the mound. We're going to talk to Adam Evans. Let's see if we're going to keep this pitching rotation going, or are we going to have a change here? Looks like with bringing all the guys in to talk, we're probably looking at bringing in a relief pitcher, and we'll find out momentarily who that will be. Adam Evans has been doing a good job so far, but he gave up a pitch that was too much inside on a good hitter, and he was able to turn on that and drive it into left center field for a stand-up double. Now the DH for Palm Harbor, Gunnar Wilson, a young man with a lot of power, and Adam Evans going to stay in the ball game. Let's see if we can close this out here. 2 runners on the pitch, and there's a curveball right over the middle, and I cannot believe that was not a called strike. You won't find a prettier looking curveball over the plate for a strike than that one. That is a real head scratcher on that one. But nevertheless, a move to third place, and he's got it! Oh, come on! I can't believe that. Oh my gosh, we might see Rich come out on that one, because Adam Evans making a throw to the third base and catching the runner off guard, and the umpire, I don't know what he was watching, but that guy was out by a mile. Watch the replay at home, ladies and gentlemen, and determine it for yourself. But I can tell you, having watched a lot of baseball, that guy was thrown out. But nevertheless, another pitch. And a make-up strike by the umpire there, because I think he's realized that he's not being very very consistent in his strike zone today. So a ball that was off the plate gets called a strike. Something that's right down the middle called for a ball. That's a little disconcerting. Let's see what Adam Evans can do here. And there's a base hit, or a ball grounder rather, hit to Hunter Thiel, and we end the inning with no runs. Thank goodness. So we're preserving the lead. Working out of a jam is Adam Evans. And that's going to end the ball game. Boy, that was a heart stopper there at the end. Palmetto working out of a jam to preserve the 3-2 win, ladies and gentlemen. An excellent game today, and well played by both teams. What you like to see in high school baseball is two very good teams with a lot of depth, making plays, executing on the mound and in the field. Just an excellent win for the Palmetto Tigers today. So that's going to do it from a broadcast here at Mike Van Zert Field. Once again, your final, Palmetto Tigers 3, Palm Harbor Hurricanes 2, and we will see you on our next telecast of the next home game on Tiger Vision, the #1 webcast in the world. So long, everybody.